These two products don't feel related. One is about speed, the other is about trust, but they're solving the same problem. How do you make a stranger say yes? Amazon removes thinking, search, compare, buy. Airbnb removes fear, photos, reviews, stories. Familiarity, different paths, same destination, conversion. Amazon says, don't slow down. Airbnb says, you're safe here. One compresses time, the other expands comfort, and both prove the same thing. UI is psychology wearing pixels. Let's rewind. First, the product that turns minutes into money. Then, the product that turns homes into brands. This one doesn't feel social, or creative, or persuasive. It feels inevitable. Amazon isn't built to inspire you, it's built to remove friction. Search, scroll, compare, buy. Every pixel quietly asking one question: how fast can this become a purchase? Rebuilding something like that, the density, the repetition, the relentless efficiency, should require logistics, data, and scale. But with one prompt, AI claims it can recreate the experience. So today, we're not asking if it looks real, we're asking how convenience rewires behavior. Welcome back to MetaBuild AI. On this channel, we don't rebuild platforms to admire them. We rebuild them to understand what they optimize for. Identity platforms shape who you become. Control platforms shape how you behave. And convenience platforms, they shape what you expect. Amazon isn't a store. It's a baseline for how easy things are allowed to be. Same rules as always. We're rebuilding Amazon. Not fulfillment centers, not prime logistics, not recommendations, just the interface. Search bars, product grids, filters, buy buttons, no inventory, no payments, no back-end logic. Just one prompt, and whatever the AI believes Amazon is. Amazon isn't a website. It's a pipeline. So instead of describing features, I describe efficiency, density, repetition, familiar patterns, zero hesitation. Watch this. Yeah, that's exactly it. Rows on rows, options everywhere, no empty space. This isn't about beauty, it's about momentum. Every screen asks, why wouldn't you just buy it now? Let's slow this down. Because Amazon's power isn't price, it's removal. First, cognitive offloading. You don't decide if to buy, you decide which. Second, visual normalization. Every product looks equally legitimate. Reviews, stars, badges. Trust, preloaded. Third, speed illusion. 2 clicks feels faster than thinking. Amazon doesn't convince you, it exhausts resistance. At this point, the UI isn't helping you choose, it's choosing for you. And that changes how you value time. Watch how little interaction creates trust. Hover a card. Highlight a price. Click once. Nothing impressive happens. And yet, it feels final. Convenience platforms don't need delight. They need certainty. Every click says, this was easier than stopping. Here's the real lesson. Amazon isn't about shopping. It's about expectation reset. Once something is instant, waiting feels broken. Interfaces don't just serve users, they retrain patience. When convenience becomes default, effort feels like failure. AI didn't invent this, it exposed it, instantly. If you can see friction, you can design ethically. That completes the pattern. Identity shapes self. Control shapes behavior. Money shapes survival. And convenience? Convenience shapes what we tolerate. If this changed how you see products, you can support the channel at $MetaBuildAI. Next, we stop rebuilding platforms and start rebuilding products with intention. Amazon optimizes speed. Airbnb optimizes emotion. Watch how the interface slows down on purpose. This one doesn't feel fast, or loud, or transactional. It feels reassuring. Airbnb isn't built to sell you a place, it's built to sell you a feeling. Belonging, safety, familiarity, somewhere you've never been. Every pixel quietly asking one question: would you feel okay sleeping here? Rebuilding something like that, the softness, the warmth, the emotional permission, should require human judgment. But with one prompt, AI claims it can recreate the experience. So today, we're not asking if it looks real. We're asking how trust gets designed. Welcome back to MetaBuild AI. On this channel, we don't rebuild platforms to copy them, we rebuild them to see what they optimize for. Identity platforms shape who you become. Control platforms shape how you behave. And trust platforms? They shape what you're willing to risk. Airbnb isn't about travel. It's about feeling safe in someone else's space. Same rules as always. We're rebuilding Airbnb. Not hosts, not guests, not bookings. Just the interface. Search bars, listing cards, maps, reviews. No calendars, no payments, no identity verification. Just one prompt, and whatever the AI believes Airbnb is. Airbnb isn't a marketplace. It's a promise. So instead of listing features, I describe comfort, white space, natural imagery, human faces, calm pacing. Watch this. Yeah, that's it. Big photos, gentle fonts, nothing shouting. This isn't about urgency, it's about permission. Every screen asks, "You'll be okay here." Let's slow this down, because Airbnb's power isn't price, it's emotional buffering. First, visual trust. Real photos, real homes, imperfect spaces. It doesn't feel staged. Second, social proof. Reviews aren't highlighted, they're everywhere. Quiet reassurance. Third, identity softening. Hosts feel human, guests feel welcome. Airbnb doesn't push you, it lowers your guard. At this point, the UI isn't selling a room, it's selling a memory that hasn't happened yet. And that changes how you commit. Watch how little interaction creates comfort. Hover a listing, tap a photo, scroll gently. Nothing surprising happens. And that's the point. Trust platforms don't need speed, they need calm. Every interaction says, "You're not being rushed." Here's the real lesson. Airbnb isn't about lodging, it's about permission. To enter, to stay, to belong. Interfaces don't just guide action, they regulate emotion. When trust becomes default, skepticism feels unnecessary. AI didn't invent this, it surfaced it, instantly. If you can see trust, you can design responsibly. That completes the pattern. Identity shapes self, control shapes behavior, money shapes survival, and trust? Trust shapes where we're willing to land. If this changed how you see products, you can support the channel at $MetaBuildAI. Next, we take everything we've learned and start designing with intention. Different products, same lesson. Users don't buy features, they buy certainty. Speed is one form, trust is another. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video. You can follow MetaBuild AI on all social media platforms and visit metabuildai.gumroad.com to find today's UI build kit, along with other products used to create this content. If you want to support the channel directly, you can also send support via Cash App, $MetaBuildAI. I'll see you in the next build.